Damen Shipyards Group is a Dutch family-owned company, and it's actually a very big shipbuilder in the Netherlands. It has a very strong civilian part, but also a very strong military part, a naval part, and that is what we are showcasing here at Euronaval 2024. We run a lot of big programs, mainly for the Royal Netherlands Navy, and also for some partner nations, mainly in Europe. So for example, we have even programs for large frigates in nations like Germany and Belgium. Maybe it's good to illustrate what we are doing with the model, which is to my right side. It's a frigate. And this anti-submarine warfare frigate is actually a very revolutionary program. It's actually for the first time in the history of the European Union, of the modern European Union, that on such a high level of complexity, we run a ship very identical for two EU member nations and also two NATO nations. That's the Belgian and Netherlands navies. As you know, Belgium and the Netherlands work very closely together. They operate the same ships already, but now we actually designed, engineered, together with the Ministry of Defense of the Netherlands, innovative, new, future-proof ASW frigates. And these may be a standard also for other nations to observe when they have to, let's say, accelerate and introduce this very needed capability against submarines into their fleets. For the rest, the company is also active abroad in programs like, for example, in Mexico and Colombia. It's a little bit further away, but there we actually have local build programs for corvettes and frigates for their navies. Our company can operate with a lot of partners, not only Dutch partners, but also partners with, for example, sensor weapons and communication systems from other nations and partner nations. And that gives us the opportunity to offer really, let's say, to the utmost level of detail, the desired solution to a customer. So a customer in our system can choose his own equipment, his own concept, his own design. The company has a strong legacy of local build. So it means that if we, for example, partner with another nation to develop a naval capability, we will not only design and engineer the ship, but we will also make possible that the nation, if desired, can build the ship locally on an own yard facility. I think it's also important to understand that not only the procurement of the new ship, but the complete life cycle is very important. It actually entails two very important issues for us. The first is to introduce as many partners on a program like this. We don't do this on our own. We will always engage and liaise with very, let's say, innovative and also very knowledgeable providers and suppliers of systems and solutions. And the other part is that we also already think about the maintenance. We understand that life cycle management and life cycle cost is of the utmost importance. Budgets will always be tight, budgets always have to be spent efficiently, so we will pay a lot of attention in the first phase to reduce on the long term the running costs and the operational costs of our frigates and other naval solutions. I think right now Damen is in a state of transition. We observe strategic cooperation with our main customer, the Royal Netherlands Ministry of Defense and the Royal Netherlands Navy. As you all understand, the situation is not really stable in the world, and we think that stability will not come back for a longer time. So we also are open, willing and ready to engage in long-term strategic operations with our trusted partners. If you look at a frigate like this, it's not only the ship that we design and that we engineer, but this is of course a very, very complex project of many years, where we have also to manage dozens and even hundreds of partners who also contribute to this capability. So we represent a unique capability in the Netherlands, and it is the original equipment manufacturer capability, the OEM capability for very complex naval solutions. And that links us to a number of partners in Europe. For example, partners in Germany, in Sweden, in France, in Spain and Italy, where we see that these nations also can engage these capabilities. So it's not only that we operate this in our projects, but on an OEM level, we also cooperate with our partners here in Europe, for example, in research and development programs like the European Defence Fund. Very important initiative, because there we can actually look for the same standards, look to see how we can consolidate and can streamline our requirements and maybe come up with programs that can join many nations into one capability.